Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about the same topic, electronic spreadsheet. Last class also we have discussed some of the topics under this electronic spreadsheet like introduction and LibreOffice Calc uses, spreadsheet uses, and some of the softwares which are used for a calculation purpose, and parts of the electronic spreadsheet. So all those topics we discussed in the previous class. Today we are going to discuss about LibreOffice software installation, how to install this LibreOffice software in a Windows based desktop computer or laptop computer. So for that you need to have a Windows based systems. OS need to be installed as Windows only, and LibreOffice Calc title bar, and then menu bar, and then toolbars, then worksheet, rows and columns. These are the topics we are going to discuss today. So let me move on to the first topic, that is LibreOffice software installation. For installing this LibreOffice software, first you need to have net connection with any laptop or desktop computer. So if you have that, then you can go to any browser like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, like that. Any browser you just open, and in that you just type www.google.com. It will take you to Google search engine. In this Google search engine you will see like this one search box. Inside this search box you need to type LibreOffice for Windows. So if you have Windows based desktop, you can follow this procedure for installing the LibreOffice suite in your desktop computer or in a laptop computer. So once you type this statement in the search box, immediately it will display some of the links which are related to this keyword what you have entered here in the Google search engine. And then in that you click on this first link in order to go to the LibreOffice suite website. Okay, so this is the website that we went into. So libreoffice.org website in order to download the software. So after opening this page, you just click on this download option. So under this you will see many versions of this LibreOffice suite. In that you just choose the latest version, that is 6.4.3. This is the latest version. It is also free software only. So you can click on download option here. You need to choose which kind of Windows you are having. So for example, Windows 10 based OS, Windows 10 operating system, you can go for this Windows 64-bit. Okay, and then you click on the download button. So once you click on the download button, you will see above the taskbar, that is near to the taskbar, you will see this kind of icon, that is your LibreOffice suite software is downloading. So once if it is downloaded fully, once the file fully downloaded, then you will see this kind of icon. Then double click this file in order to open the file. Once it is downloaded fully, you can double click this, and after you open this, you will see one kind of wizard like this. So that is LibreOffice 6.4.3.2 version installation wizard. So in this you need to read the instructions carefully and then click on the next button. So once you click on the next button, it will take you to next wizard. In that next wizard you just choose the among the two options, you just choose the first option, that is typical. Then only the full software suite will get installed in your computer. And then after choosing this, you just click on the next button. It will take us to next wizard. In that next wizard, you just click on this first option, that is create a shortcut on a desktop, and then click on install button. So your installation process will be started. So when the installation process starts, it will be looking like this in your desktop screen or in a laptop screen. And then next installation, when the installation completes, it will be showing the wizard like this, and then click on the finish button. Once you click on the finish button, you will see immediately LibreOffice 6.4 is getting installed in your desktop or laptop screen like a shortcut menu. Okay, so after clicking on this finish button, you can double click this LibreOffice 6.4 in order to work with the LibreOffice suite. Okay, so if you double click that shortcut icon, see here the shortcut icon is there in your laptop screen or in a desktop screen. So you just open this, right click and open this, or double click on this icon, shortcut icon, in order to go to this LibreOffice suite front page. Okay, so inside this you just see lot of softwares are listed here. What all is there in this LibreOffice suite, like Writer, OpenOffice, like OpenOffice Writer and MS Word we are seeing. No, same like here Writer document we have in order to work with word related documents. And then calc spreadsheet, impress presentation. So if you want to make any presentation, you can go and click on this impress presentation. So now we want to work with electronic spreadsheet. So you need to open this calc spreadsheet. Just click on this calc spreadsheet. It will open the LibreOffice calc spreadsheet like this. So this is the screen we have seen in the last class with some parts. Okay, so already we discussed all the parts, so no need to discuss the parts here again. And we'll move on to the title bar of, this is one of the part. So title bar, the title bar located at the top of this screen. So you can see here title bar is located at the top with the name. So current electronic spreadsheet name, no, this spreadsheet name, currently which spreadsheet is open, that name will be appearing at the title bar. So it shows the names of the name of the current spreadsheet. When the spreadsheet is newly created, its name is untitled X. So X is here indicating a number. So here we have seen untitled 1. So first spreadsheet we have opened, so it is showing the number 1. So that's why when the new spreadsheet is opened for the first time, it will show the name as untitled 1. When you are creating the spreadsheet for the second time, it will show untitled 2. Then if you are again opening the spreadsheet, then it will show untitled 3. Like that it will go on. So next part of the LibreOffice Calc is menu bar. So under menu bar we have a lot of menus. So menu bar, where it is located? It is located just below the title bar. Title bar is located always at the top. Just below the title bar we have this menu bar. So around in version 6.4.3.2 version, we have around 11 menus. But in a previous class I said that it is having 10 menus. More than 10 menus we can have as a in a menu bar. Okay, so here you can see in a menu bar, it contains menus with commands for various tasks. So it contains a list of lot of commands with the various tasks. So each menu item has a sub menu called the pull down menu. When you click on each menu, that is file menu or edit menu, any menu if you are clicking on, it will have some of the pull down menus. So that pull down menus only will consist of all the commands. So first we will move on to first menu, that is file menu. It contains the commands applied to the entire document. So for the entire document we can apply this file menu. So file menu normally will consist of the commands like open, save, wizard, and then export as PDF, print, digital signatures, and so on. So like that some of the commands will be there in the file menu. And then edit menu, second menu is edit menu. It contains commands for editing purpose. Okay, so like cut, copy, paste, undo, select, find and replace, and so on. Like this many commands we are having under edit. So edit menu mainly used for editing the commands. Next is view menu. It contains the commands for modifying the user interface. So if you want to change any, if you want to do any changes in the user interface, you can go for this view menu. Like toolbars, column and row, headers, full screen, zoom. Like that we have several commands under this view menu in order to change the user interface. And then insert menu. Insert menu, it contains elements. It is used to insert elements into the spreadsheet. So what kind of elements we can insert into the spreadsheet? Image, media, chart, object, shapes, date, time, headers and footers. These are the options we can use under the insert menu. These are the elements we can insert in the spreadsheet. Next is format menu. It contains commands for modifying the layout of the spreadsheet layout, or any kind of arrangements if you want to make in the spreadsheet, you can go for this format menu. Like cell, we can maximize the cell size, row height we can increase, column width we can increase or decrease, pages, styles and formatting, and then alignment. So all these formatting options you can use under this format menu. Next is styles menu. Styles menu, normally it is used for managing the word styles. So any letter styles, no, different styles if you want to choose, you can go for this styles menu. And then sheet menu, it contains commands to insert a cell, delete a cell, insert a row, delete a column, insert a column, renaming a sheet, inserting a sheet. Like this we can do many tasks under this sheet menu. Next is data menu. Eighth menu is data menu. Data menu, it contains commands for manipulating data. We can do some changes in the data, like defining the range of the data, or we can perform sorting on the inserted data, or we can perform filtering also on the inserted data. So it contains commands for manipulating the data. And next menu is tools menu. It contains various functions to check and customize the spreadsheet. So what kind of checking we can do in this tools menu? Spell check, and then language checking, gallery, macros, all those options are available under tools menu. Next is window. It contains commands to display the window. So either new window we can display and splitting window we can display in the by using this window menu. Next is last menu is help menu. Help menu contains links to help the system included in the software and other miscellaneous function. So like help we can click on in order to search any kind of topic related doubts, spreadsheet topic related doubts we can get from this help menu. And then license information and then check for updates information will be available under the help menu. So these are the menus we have, around 11 menus we have under this menu bar. Next is toolbar. So if you if you look at this ribbon, you have title bar first and then menu bar. Below the menu bar, just below the menu bar, we have the toolbars. So in that first one is standard toolbar, and the second line shows the formatting toolbar, and then we have another one is formula bar, formula toolbar as a third toolbar. Okay, so let me discuss first as standard toolbar. Okay, so the calc opens with the standard and formatting toolbars at the top of the workspace by default. Defaultly, the standard and formatting toolbars will be placed at the top when you are opening the calc. When you are opening the calc, it will be displayed at the top. These toolbars provide wide range of common commands and the functions. It will be having lot of commands and the functions in order to do any kind of tasks. So when you are placing the mouse over any icon, it displays a small box. So you can see one picture here. Here I have placed my mouse over this icon, that is save icon. So just if you are placing for a single minute, so it will be showing one tooltip. One information will be displayed here, that is only called a small box, only called a tooltip. Placing a mouse cursor or mouse pointer over any icon, it will display a small box called a tooltip. What is the name of this box? Tooltip. It gives a brief explanation of the icon, that is small size information it will give about the icon's function. So what kind of function this icon is going to do, that function will be displayed here. So what is the purpose of this icon? That small picture, save is the function of this icon. So the shortcut key also simultaneously appearing in the tooltip. So that is a Control S is a shortcut key which is used for saving task. Okay. Next is standard toolbar shows the icons for most common operations such as editing, arranging, filtering. So standard toolbar is used for which kind of operations? Editing work we can do, arranging and filtering of data we can do by using the standard toolbar. And then formatting toolbar, it is having the most common operation related to formatting the data sheet. So data sheet alignments, size changes, all those things we can do in a formatting toolbar. It includes font selection, size of the text, alignment, cell value formatting and indentation. Left indentation, there is increase indent and decrease indent we have under the indentation. So these are the things or functions we can perform under the formatting toolbar. So till now we have discussed two toolbars, that is standard toolbar and formatting toolbar. Next toolbar is formula toolbar. Formula toolbar is located just below this formatting toolbar. So here we have menu bar and here standard toolbar, and the third line is formatting toolbar, and here this is only known as formula toolbar. So it's formula toolbar left side onwards if you are taking. So left side we have the name box, next we have the function wizard, next we have sum, next is insert function, next is input line. So like that we have the some of the tasks we can perform in this formula toolbar. So it allows entering and editing the formula. What is the purpose of this formula toolbar? It allows us to enter the formula and to edit the formula in the cell. So formula bar, it consists of the following. First one is name box. It shows the cell reference, that is cell address. Reference means here address. Okay, it shows the cell address. For example, A1 is displayed here. When you are selecting any cell, that will be appearing as active cell or selected cell. So that cell name only will get displayed in this name box. Next is function wizard. So search the function from the list of available functions. If you click on this FX, it will show list of functions. From that you can choose any function which you want to do task. No, you can choose any one of the function. Next is sum. It is used to total the numbers in the cells above the selected cell, that is above any selected cell. If you want to do totaling of numbers which are displayed above the selected cell, will get added, and then the sum is finally placed on, the result is finally placed on selected cell. So that is the work of this sum icon. Next is function. So when you click on the function icon, it inserts equal to sign into the selected cell. So which cell you have selected, in that cell that equal to symbol will be placed, and also in input line this equal to symbol will be placed. When you click on this insert function, equal to symbol will be placed in this input line. This white color rectangular box only is known as input line. Normally in an MS Excel we will call this white color box as rectangular box as input box. Okay, but here in LibreOffice Calc we are saying we are going to say this name as input line. So whenever you click on this insert function, immediately that equal to symbol will be placed in the selected cell also and in this input line also. Okay, normally any formula will start with the equal to symbol. Without equal to symbol, that formula will be invalid, it will generate error only. Next, input box, it displays the contents of the selected cell. So input line will display the contents of the selected cell. Which cell you have selected, in that cell what kind of data is available, everything will be displayed on the input line. Okay, the selected cell may have data or formula or function, and it allows editing the cell contents also. So using input line we can allow we can do editing also. Okay, so to edit inside the input line area, you need to click in the area, then type the changes. So in the input line area you need to click, and then after you get the cursor you can do any kind of changes in the input line area. So if you want to edit the same content in a current cell, within the current cell, you need to double click in the cell. If you are single click on the cell, entire content will get erased if you press any key on the keyboard. So for editing inside the current cell, selected cell, if you want to do any editing in the currently selected cell, you need to double click inside the cell, then only you can get the cursor and you can do any modification in the currently selected cell. Next is worksheet. What is worksheet? Worksheet is otherwise known as, referred as spreadsheet here, and the spreadsheet can have many sheets. Each sheet can have many individual cells which are arranged in rows and columns form. Okay, the sheet tab shows its default name as sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. Here you can see sheet 1, this is the entire sheet is called worksheet or spreadsheet. This spreadsheet or worksheet will consist of sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, which is indicated with the help of this sheet tab. Okay, so in MS Excel you have studied collection of worksheets will make a workbook, but here this worksheet is otherwise known as spreadsheet, and inside that worksheet only we have sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. Next, rows and columns. The sheet is divided into, normally any worksheet if you take, that is going to be divided into vertically columns and horizontally as rows. So each sheet can have a maximum of 1,48,576 rows, maximum it is having, and 1024 columns. So the rows are named as 1, 2, 3, 4. How the rows are indicated or represented with? It is represented with 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. And columns are named as A, B, C, D. Alphabets are letters. It will go up to A, M, J. So here you can see which is row and which is column. So the horizontally placed cells and all called rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that you are seeing that horizontally placed cells. All the cells are called as, grouply it is known as rows. And vertically placed cells and all is called as columns. A, B, C, D, E like that it is going on. So columns are represented with the alphabets or letters and rows are represented with numbers. So active cell, how we can identify which cell you are currently clicking or selecting the cell, that is only known as active cell. That active cell address or cell reference will be displayed in the name box, which is available inside which toolbar? Formula toolbar. And then active cell address, here it is appearing. So this is about rows and columns. Next is cell. The intersection of row and column only is known as cell. So here A and 1 both are intersecting each other. So this is making a cell. This one making a cell. When the intersection of row and column will make a cell. It is the basic element of the spreadsheet. Cell is a basic element of the spreadsheet. What kind of information it will be holding? So it will hold data and it will hold function, formulas and numbers. Text also it will hold. So cell address is denoted by its column, letter and then followed by row number. Normally cell address or cell references is going to be indicated or denoted by its column letter first and then row number next. So example D4, E9, 89 are valid example of cell addresses. But if you write 4D and 9E and 89Z, that are invalid example for cell address. So valid is always, it will start with cell address, always it will start with column letter and followed by row number. Thank you. With this, we will end up the today's session. Next class, we will discuss some other topics related to the electronic spreadsheet. Thank you once again.